Hello everyone, today marks the first episode of, I'm thinking, a 6-episode series previewing the internationals for the 2024 Melbourne Cup. Now the Melbourne Cup is still over 6 months away, but some of the key chances from overseas have been racing in their respective races, so I thought we'd take a look at some of them today, preview them, and hopefully you can all learn something. So we'll start by taking a look at the Melbourne Cup market. Now, we're going to do this at the start of every episode that we look at, just to see if there's been any movements or changes. So this is how it looks at the moment. Circle of 5, the Sydney Cup winner, $11 favourite. Pride of Jenny, Salcombe, Vauban coming again from overseas hopefully, and without a fight last year's winner, all at $13. Middle Earth is an international that hasn't run this year, so it's not going to feature in this video. T.O. Royal will feature in this video. Via Sistine is also at $15. Mark Twain, Roy Higgins winner at $18. Riff Rock at $21. Blow the Horn will feature in this video at $26. Just Fine $26. Orchestral $26. Post Impressionist is at $26. Royal Champion will not feature in this video, and Zardozi is also at $26. We're about to watch two different races that consist of the same two horses from Japan, T.O. Royal and Blow the Horn. We'll start with the Hanshin Daishoten, won by T.O. Royal, where it settled in a non-speed position, started the $2 favourite and was much too strong for this field. Blow the Horn finished 5 1/4 lengths off T.O. Royal on this occasion. Blow the Horn did carry a kilo more than T.O. Royal. Blow the Horn started $3 on this occasion as well, so the market says they're pretty much the same grade as each other. They're both very good horses. T.O. Royal has won 5 from 11 in its career. Trained by Inao Okada. I'm not too sure who that is. Not too familiar with that name. But Blow the Horn is 6 from 15 in its career. Trained by the trainer of Breakup, Tatsuya Yoshioka. And Breakup obviously came over for last year's Melbourne Cup 2023. So that's a familiar name. Now we're going to take a look at the TENNO SHO Group 1 level. At Kyoto, where T.O. Royal won again. They both carried the same weight on this occasion, and Blow the Horn absolutely steamed home from the back with the extra 200 metres. I was blown away with its performance, despite it not winning compared to T.O. Royal. It'll be interesting to see how these two horses line up in a Melbourne Cup type run race. I think Blow the Horn is an out-and-out stayer and will just keep accelerating through the line, whereas T.O. Royal might be that sort of Vauban type of horse, settle on speed and try and win it off a brutal tempo. Usually it's a brutal tempo for the Melbourne Cup. So those two horses come from Japan. We're going to see, we'll see and follow how they go throughout the series. We're now going to take a look at two horses, very familiar names, trained by the same trainer, Willie Mullins, Vauban and Absurde. We'll start with Absurde. This was his last start win in the County Handicap Hurdle at Cheltenham. This was back in the 16th of March. And it started $14 on this occasion. For a horse as good as Absurde, I was surprised it started $14, but it won this race. Now, Willie Mullins has come out and said, when asked about these two horses, Absurde will be back here in Australia at some point, but might not contest the Melbourne Cup or Caulfield Cup, might contest something of a shorter distance, maybe like the Turnbull Stakes or something like that. So Absurd, don't really know if he's going to the Cup at all, but I thought I'd highlight him anyway because he is being talked about with Vauban. Speaking of Vauban, he's $13 in the early markets and he hasn't run since last year's Melbourne Cup, so we're going to take a look at the replay of his win during the Ascot Carnival 2023, 20th of June, where he blew away Absurd and the likes to win very impressively. Started favourite in last year's Melbourne Cup, disappointed in my opinion, just didn't look ready in the mounting yard, just looked completely off and not ready, so that, along with the frantic tempo, probably contributed to the 13-length defeat. But apparently he's prepped up well, according to Willie Mullins. The market said, due to last year's Melbourne Cup, or before last year's Melbourne Cup, he was the most likely to win. He was good enough to win. So if he can show up with his best, $13 might be a spoil. But we won't know. It's still very early days, still over 6 months away. So we'll see where Vauban goes next. The next horse we're going to take a look at, trained by Aidan O'Brien. Its name's Tower of London, and this was its win in the Dubai Gold Cup at Group 2 level over the 3,200 metres. Showed a really good turn of foot to storm over the lot of them. Now, this horse won the King George Cup at listed level last year, 2023, I'm pretty sure Cross Counter won the same race the year that he won the Melbourne Cup, but Tower of London didn't come out for last year's Melbourne Cup. But if he comes out for this year's Melbourne Cup, judging off that form reference, he'll be highly competitive. This horse is 3 from 8 in its career. It's by Galileo. Galileo and Aidan O'Brien go together perfectly, so keep a very close eye on where this horse goes next, Tower of London. The last international we're going to be taking a look at for today is a bit of an outsider, 40 to 1 in early markets. It's called Savannahs Night. This was its win at Longchamp on the 28th of April, so it was only last week in the Prix de Barbeville. I hope I've pronounced that right. Anyway, it was at Group 3 level. It was at 3,000 metres, and it just blew this field away. Has won 3 from 12 in its career, so it's not as an impressive record as your T.O. Royals or your Blow the Horns or even your Tower of Londons, but this horse is by Camelot. Probably will get the distance of 3,200 metres. It's sort of similar, in my head it's similar to Listochka. Listochka was winning some good races in France last year before coming up for the Melbourne Cup, and obviously didn't win or didn't even look like it last year. So Savannah's Nights at 40 to 1. We'll have to keep an eye on it. That wraps up the internationals. Now, at the end of every episode of the Melbourne Cup 2024 International Show, I'm going to have Salmons Top Seed, which is basically who I have on top for the Melbourne Cup at the moment. So, we're over 6 months away, I know that, but there's a good horse that went around in Australia about 4 weeks ago behind Pride of Jenny called Via Sistina over the 2,000 metres. Got home really well behind Pride of Jenny. Just shows that it wants 2,400 and beyond. As soon as it came over here and won the Randwick Stakes, I thought, this is Chris Waller's new Very Elegant. What did Very Elegant do? Won the Melbourne Cup when no one thought she'd get the trip. So I think Via Sistina is my top seed at the moment. I'm happy to have it on top at the moment, but we're still over 6 months away, I know that. So yeah, Via Sistina on top for me. But thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in a month's time for the next one.